Are you looking to get into Facebook leads or do better with what you're doing? If so, this is the video you're going to want to watch. We have generated near 100,000 leads on Facebook and Instagram, and with that, we've learned a few things. So this video is going to be dedicated to those best practices that we've learned about generating and following up with leads. Take a look. Hey everyone, this is Kevin Smullin with 2Q Lead Generation Strategies. If you're new to our channel, welcome. We're so glad you're here. What we're all about is helping real estate agents just like you generate more leads, set more appointments, and close more deals. So if that's what you're after, this is the place to be. Please consider subscribing. We'd love to have you here as part of our community. It's been a little bit since I did a video. Took some time off with the holidays, and so it's been nice to have some time off, and now it's nice to get back at it. So hopefully you're doing the same thing with your business. If you want to check out some of our best practices and tips, down below in the description, you will find a link to our 4 Pillars video series. It's a series of 4 different videos about best practices we've learned to make the most of your social media marketing. So it's totally free. Make sure you take a second, check that out. It's time well spent. Now, in today's video, what we're going to be talking about is some of the best practices, the things that we have learned after 100,000 leads almost. It's hard to track to the exact amount, but as best as I can estimate, we are pretty close to surpassing that 100,000 lead milestone. So that's pretty cool in and of itself. But there's a lot of things that we've learned along the way. So a lot of times you hear a lot of myths and things about Facebook leads. They're great, they're not good. You'll hear all kinds of things. So really, after lots and lots of experience, really just want to use this video to kind of set the record straight with what I've experienced. So the video is going to be broken into 2 halves. The first half, I'm going to be talking about some of the best practices we've learned about generating leads. And then the second part is some of the best practices we've learned with lead follow-up and lead conversion and what that really looks like. So with that being said, let's get into the lead generation section. The first thing that really will help you take your lead generation to the next level is it's all about the offer. So what I mean by that is we have found that if you offer something in exchange for people's contact information, it's just one of the best ways to get better results. I've seen people say, I want to do a lead generation. I'm going to put out a video and just say, I offer a free consultation. Okay. My experience is when you're super vague like that and people don't really know what they're getting, the response rate is really, really low. So the better and stronger your offer is, the more likely people are to take you up on it. So even with a lot of the ads, our offer is just as simple as, here's a home, do you want to see the rest of the information? It could be a list of homes. It could be a report on ways to buy a home without a down payment. It could be, I don't know, there's all kinds of different things out there. Ways to buy a home in today's market with higher interest rates. I mean, there's all kinds of things that you can do. But the stronger your offer is, the more likely people are going to take you up on it. That's the first part. The second part is that niches tend to have higher conversion rates once you get to the stage of follow-up and conversion. So what I mean by that is if you're offering something that is niche in nature, then you're going to tend to get a better response, right? So like first-time buyers, if you're marketing to them and you're offering ways to improve their credit or how to buy a home without a down payment, or if you're catering to the work-at-home crowd about homes with the homes that are ideal for working at home and those kinds of things, right? I have found that the more niche something is that you offer, you may get a lower response rate, which means you're going to have a higher cost per lead. But in exchange for that, you tend to get a better lead with more conversions on the other side, right? It's this, anytime you're generating leads, what I've experienced is it's a constant game of how do I generate leads for the lowest cost, but at the same time, how do I do it with the highest response rate? So there are a lot of the campaigns that I show on the channel. Like for example, when we're running ads for buyer leads, we'll tend to show a home and we withhold the price and the address and the majority of the photos to get people incentivized to click and follow up, give us their contact information to see the rest of the home. Now, that is a strategy where we're generating leads in volume, and it works really well. We're in most parts of the country, we're able to generate leads for around $2, $3, sometimes $4 per lead with that kind of a strategy. It's very, very low cost lead. But because it's not super niche, we tend to have lower conversion rates on the other side. Whereas there's other strategies. I've got some clients that are running ads where they're generating leads around $12, $13, $14 a lead, which is much more expensive, but it's also much more niche where it's dedicated to the first time buyer, and the person that they're getting on the back end, they're having a higher conversion rate. So again, it's really just kind of a strategy, a dance of what you're looking for, right? Obviously we want the lowest cost per lead and the highest response rate possible, but sometimes we sacrifice one to get the other, and it's just a constant dance. So with that being said, again, the principle is niches tend to have higher cost per lead, but a better conversion rate, right? And then the third thing, kind of already talked about it a little bit, which is it's this dance between volume and cost, right? So when you're generating leads in volume, typically it'll be at a very low cost per lead, but sometimes it's harder to get those people to be more serious on the follow-up side and vice versa. So again, it's just this principle of this is where the tweaking and changing and modifying things really comes into play, just depending on whether you're wanting to crank up the machine, get tons of leads, knowing that a lot of them are never going to go anywhere, but you're going to get quantity through, or you're going to get quality through the quantity, right? Other people don't want to mess with the quantity. They just want quality, which tends to come at a higher cost per lead. Again, it just depends on what it is that you're looking for. So those are kind of some best practices that we've learned on the generation side. Now on the conversion side, the first thing is the name of the game with getting more leads to convert is absolutely nurture and follow-up. Nurture and follow-up is the name of the game with online leads, especially where Facebook, Instagram, social media is concerned. Because the majority of people who are seeing your posts, who are seeing your ads, they are not, in most cases, they are not in a current active buying or selling cycle. In other words, they're not immediately looking to do that right here, right now, today. Now, are there exceptions to that? Yes, of course. And we love those people who are in an active cycle, who are ready to do something today, and we will take those people all day long. But that is not the norm with the people who are responding from the ads that we're running on Facebook. Most of these people are very much in the considering options, looking at what's possible stage, right? The majority of these people I would tell you at a bare minimum, they're going to be 3 to 6 months out, right? So that's why nurture and follow up is the name of the game. Anytime we're dealing with social media, this style of marketing is more what we like to call interruption style marketing. In other words, the people on Facebook are not necessarily going to Google and searching for, I want to buy a home, right? They're on Facebook scrolling and they see an ad for a home and they're like, oh, okay. Right? It's more interruption style marketing is what we call that. So it doesn't mean it's a bad lead. It doesn't mean that they're not good. It just means it's going to take a little time and a little follow-up. So you've got to know that being prepared. When in my experience, the people that say, I know a lot of other companies out there, the way they market and position their services is, we'll generate leads and they'll close next month. And it's like, yeah, my experience with those people and the clients I've talked to who have done business with people that promise those kinds of things generally are people who can't fulfill the promises that they're making. It's just not reality. So again, from me to you, 100,000 leads into this, my experience is it's very much nurture and follow up. The clients that I have who are the most successful, who close the most deals, I don't think it will surprise you. They are also the ones that have the best follow-up, the most disciplined, and they're doing a lot to get the lead from the point of generating it to the point of transaction. There's a lot of contacts and a lot of work that's going into that. And again, I tell people all the time, if you're not okay with that, this probably isn't the way you want to go about generating business, because that really is the name of the game and what it's going to take. So follow up and nurture, absolutely the name of the game with conversion. Number 2, provide value, right? I know a lot of people where their follow up is, hey, I saw that you requested information on that home. When do you want to go see it? You ready to go see it? You ready to go see it yet? Right? And after 1 or 2 of those messages, it just tends to irritate people. They just feel like you're the used car salesman who's just trying to pressure them and get the next sale. And most people just really don't enjoy that experience. So the way that you can really make a difference and start getting a higher conversion rate is offering things of value. So if you know they're interested in a certain area, then maybe offering something of value would be, hey, let me tell you about some of the schools in the area. Or, hey, here's some local businesses that we love that you'll probably really like being close to if you decide to live in this area, right? Neighborhood reports, businesses, school systems, anything that you can provide information-wise that's going to be valuable just easily elevates you against the rest of the competition, and it makes it clear as to why people want to do business with you. So that would be the second thing that would drastically help you with conversions, is to offer things of value. And then the third thing that will really make a big difference is offering solutions, right? Every niche, every part of real estate, they all have problems. So with first-time buyers, they often have trouble with credit or coming up with a down payment. And again, there's tons of them, but those are some of the common ones. Empty nesters, a lot of times they have trouble finding a single level home. They want to get rid of stairs. They want a yard that's more manageable. Some of them are dealing with fixed income, which can also be a challenge. So again, they have problems as well. Investors, they have their own set of problems. The point is everybody has problems. They're just different. And so as you're going after different groups of people, like if you're running ads for first-time buyers, you've got to realize these are the potential problems that they have. And so if you're offering solutions to those problems, you're going to notice that your conversion rates are going to shoot up dramatically because you're offering something that a lot of the competition doesn't, right? Solving people's problems. And if you can solve people's problems, it's a great way to generate a lead. It's also a great way to convert a lead. So those would be some of the best practices that we've learned about being able to take leads and convert them. As far as some of the mechanics, I did a video a couple months ago with a dear friend of mine, Amber Hall, and she's got one of the best lead conversion systems I've ever seen. I will put a link to that interview right here. You can go watch that. I highly, highly recommend it. She's got a fantastic system for taking leads, converting them, and the process that she goes through to get there. Also, in today's market, I would also tell you that one way that you can also generate and convert leads at a much higher rate than what your competition can is by understanding what's going on in the market and offering solutions tailored to today's market, right? So in today's market, I'm recording this video January 6th. In today's market, especially where I live, interest rates have gone up to a point. Home prices have gone up over the last few years. So between home prices going up and interest rates going up, it's gotten to a point where a lot of people just can't afford to get into a home, right? Between prices and rates, it's just gotten to a point where it's just not affordable for a lot of people out there. And so if you have any kind of a solution that allows people to solve that problem and still get into a home, there's plenty of business out there if you've got a solution for that. I've got some clients that I work with who do a fantastic job of that, and they're killing it in today's market. Whether it's using buy downs or whether it's using seller financing. I've got a few clients who are focusing on seller financing deals in today's market, and they're doing great. Just because it's an alternative to going and getting one of those high interest loans that people are trying to avoid just because that's what market rates have done. So again, anytime you can offer a solution to what's going on in the local market, again, fantastic for lead generation and fantastic for conversion. So these are some of I just wanted to record a video, talk about some of the facts, the truths, the things that we've seen that really help not only generate more leads, but also help you convert them, because you've got to factor both in, right? Generating a lead that you can't convert doesn't really make a lot of sense. And it doesn't make sense to have a great conversion system with no leads coming in. You really got to have both. So this is what we do. If you're interested in our services, there's a link down in the description below. Feel free to check that out. We'd love to have a conversation with you and see if what we do is a fit. Otherwise, that's it. Make it a great week. Keep crushing it in your real estate business. As always, if we can help, let us know. Otherwise, we will see you on the next video. Thanks and take care.